Have you ever opened a book and felt, from the very first sentence, that you were entering a world unlike anything you have known before? A place where time twists in a strange way, where love turns to sorrow, where people fly into the sky or disappear into dust, and yet everything feels completely real. Welcome to 100 Years of Solitude, a journey through the mythical town of Macondo and the unforgettable family at its heart, the Buendias. This is the story of 100 years of dreams, disasters, and destiny. And today we will walk through it together, step by step, moment by moment, told in clear, simple, and full of wonder. Part 1. The beginning. Macondo is born. The story begins with a powerful image. Colonel Aureliano Buendía is standing in front of a firing squad. He is about to be shot, but in that moment of death, he doesn't think of war or politics. Instead, he remembers the day his father took him to discover ice. That moment pulls us into Macondo, a small, imaginary village hidden deep in the jungle. It's here that the Buendía family lives, generation after generation. The author Gabriel García Márquez was a famous journalist from Colombia, but when he published this novel in 1967, the world saw him in a new way as the master of magical realism, a style that blends the magical with the everyday. Critics called the book a masterpiece. Nobel Prize-winning poet Pablo Neruda said, "It was the greatest revolution in the Spanish language since Don Quixote." This novel doesn't just tell one story, it tracks the life of an entire family over 7 generations, from the moment Macondo is born to the day it disappears forever. Part 2. The founding of Macondo. It all begins with José Arcadio Buendía. He is a strong, visionary man who wants a new beginning. After killing a man in a duel, he and his wife Ursula leave their home and go searching for a new place to live. One night next to a river, José dreams of a city of mirrors and decides to build it there. He names it Macondo. To him, Macondo is a magical place, surrounded by water and forest. For many years, it's completely cut off from the world. No roads, no visitors, only gypsies arrive once in a while, bringing strange inventions like magnets, telescopes, and even a block of ice. José Arcadio becomes fascinated. He shoots himself in a lab and spends his days studying science, alchemy, and astronomy, trying to understand nature itself. But over time, his obsession drives him mad. He forgets everything, speaks only in Latin, and must be tied to a chestnut tree for the rest of his life. Meanwhile, Ursula takes control. She raises the family, runs the house, and keeps the village going. She is practical, humble, and incredibly strong. She lives for over 100 years and sees 6 generations of Buendías grow up. But she carries a deep fear that one day, because of too much marriage within the family, a child will be born with animal-like features like a big tail. Sadly, she is right. Part 3. Early generation and strange events. The children of José and Ursula grow up in a village filled with both wonder and sadness. Their oldest son, José Arcadio, is wild and impulsive. He runs away with Pilar Ternera, then comes back years later as a large tattooed sailor. He marries his adopted sister Rebecca, shocking the family and pushing Ursula to speak of the curse again. Their second son, Aureliano, is quiet and thoughtful. As a young man, politics arrive in Macondo and Aureliano joins the liberal rebels in a civil war. He becomes Colonel Aureliano Buendía and leads 32 uprisings across Colombia. He survives every battle but returns home deeply changed, hunted, empty, and isolated. The Buendía daughters also suffer. Amaranta remains unmarried, holding on to private pain. She swears to die a virgin, and she does, living a lonely life, caring for others but never loving. In the next generation, things get even stranger. Remedios the Beauty, the daughter of José Arcadio Buendía's son, is said to be the most beautiful woman anyone has ever seen. She doesn't understand her effect on men. Some go mad or die just by loving her. And one day, while folding sheets, she rises into the sky and disappears. By now, Macondo is a place where ghosts sit at dinner. Rain can fall for years, and flying into heaven seems normal. Part 4: Wealth, War, and the Banana Company. As Macondo grows, it becomes part of Colombians' real history. Colonel Aureliano Buendía keeps fighting wars, though he never wins. He grows tired, and with each return, he becomes more distant. Meanwhile, his grandson Arcadio becomes a harsh dictator in Macondo, ordering killings and ruling with fear. Soon, the outside world enters. A railroad is built, electricity and phones arrive, foreigners come, an American fruit company builds a huge banana plantation. For a while, Macondo becomes modern and rich, but the workers are treated badly. They go on strike asking for better pay and food. Then disaster. Soldiers fire into the crowd and kill thousands. This moment is based on a real event in Colombian history, the Banana Massacre of 1928. But in the book, the company says it never happened. No records, no proof. Only José Arcadio Sikhud, who survived, remembers the truth. By now, the Buendía family is falling apart. Ursula is old now and weak. The grandchildren are gone. Colonel Aureliano is alone, quietly making goldfish. The store feels like it's fading, just like Macondo itself. Part 5: The Final Generation and the End of Macondo. The last chapter of this long family saga is tragic. Amaranta Ursula, the great-granddaughter of José Arcadio and Ursula, comes back to Macondo. The town is almost empty, but she wants to bring it back to life. She marries an European man named Gaston, but secretly, she falls in love with her nephew, Aureliano, the son of her brother. Neither of them knows the truth. They have a baby, and when the child is born, he has a big tail, just as Ursula feared. Amaranta Ursula dies during childbirth. Aureliano leaves the baby alone. Child is soon eaten by ants, literally disappearing from the world. Aureliano Pagliona is now the only one left. He finds the old parchments written by the gypsy Melquiades. He finally understands them. Every event, every name, every curse, every war was already written. The prophecy said, the first in line is tied to a tree. The last is being eaten by ants. And at that moment, a huge windstorm blows through Macondo and erases the town forever. The Buendía story ends. The village disappears. All is gone. Part 6: Characters and their fates. José Arcadio Buendía, the founder, a dreamer, scientist, and madman. His vision begins the story, and his madness predicts the family's fall. Ursula, his wife and cousin, the strongest member of the family. She keeps everything going, but fears the curse of inbreeding. She lives over a century, watching everyone fade. Colonel Aureliano Buendía, a warrior and poet. He leads wars, but returns broken, creating goldfish and remembering sorrow. Amaranta, a woman of pride and pain. She chooses loneliness and dies alone, holding onto guilt from her youth. Remedios, the beauty, too beautiful for the world. She floats into the sky and disappears, untouched by life's cruelty. Fernanda del Carpio, a strict and religious woman who marries into the family. She isolates her children and never truly belongs. Aureliano the Last, the child born with a big tail, is a symbol of destiny fulfilled, ending the Buendía line. Part 7: Big ideas behind the story. Solitude. Every character in some way is lonely. Even love cannot fully save them. Cycle of history. Time repeats. Names and mistakes return again and again. The family is trapped in its own past. Fate versus free will. Prophecies shape the Buendía's lives. They think they have choices, but everything is already written. Magical realism. Magic and reality mix. Flying people, ghosts, and endless rain feel ordinary in Macondo. Love and death. Every romance ends in sadness. Love gives meaning, but it also brings pain. Colonialism and modernity. The outside world brings both progress and destruction. Macondo's story reflects real Latin American history. Why this story matters? 100 Years of Solitude is not just a family story. It's a story about life, time, and how we carry the past with us, even when we try to forget. Gabriel García Márquez shows us that nothing truly disappears. Even when a town vanishes in the wind, its stories remain. Because in the world of Macondo, everything is possible. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Arwen's Whispers. It was a big journey through 100 years of solitude. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the podcast for more powerful stories told in simple and beautiful speech. And remember, in a world full of noise, stories like this help us feel a little less alone. It was Arwen with you. Until next time, bye bye.